Welcome, stranger.
Good afternoon, gaming proprietor.
People call me Anthony.
Great, Anthony. Looks like some hot new game is out for the PlayStation Entertainment System. Could you please give me the latest Sega Saturn entry for my enjoyment?
You're not from around these parts, are you?
No. Why do you look so terrible, by the way? Your graphics are very poor.
Relax, take it easy.
What the hell is this?
It's what you're wishing for.
I feel funny.
I too.
I'm shifting into another dimension. Wee. Where is my mind? Who am I? How did I get here?
Ah, you again.
I remember you, Anthony, right?
Welcome to the Misty Town Prison.
Anthony, I've forgotten who I am.
That's a tough break. I'll call you Fred.
Fred sounds like a good name. Listen, Anthony, this is Lunacy, but it reminds me of a game I once played. Let me tell you about it. Maybe we can figure a way out if you listen to my story. Lunacy was one of many FMV games for the Saturn. The style of this game can really turn some people off. To understand this type of game, you have to go back to another game, D. I've always had an obsession with mystery and horror. This game really fulfills that need. D was a game developed by Warp. Warp was a company created by the late, great, Kenji Ino. This man really had a talent for creating immersive game experiences. It's a shame that he is no longer with us to take advantage of the newest gaming technology. Anyway, D is an interactive FMV horror title. It puts you in control of Laura, a young woman looking for the secret to her father's recent murderous psychotic episode. It leads you down a strange path with twists and turns where you eventually reveal the big secret. You could call it an interactive movie, but it's much more fun than that. There was a nice sequel on the Dreamcast, but there was also a better spiritual sequel on the Saturn called Enemy Zero. Enemy Zero was easily one of the best horror FMV games of all time. You are stuck on a space station with invisible aliens and limited ammo. What more could you want?
Attention. This ship's emergency mode has now been activated.
I always wished for some kind of modern-day release of this title, but it has yet to happen. Along the way you reveal more about the complex story. You also have to conserve ammo and shoot the invisible aliens purely by listening. This can get very scary. So, once you have those titles down, you can make your way to Lunacy. While everyone was busy playing FF7, I was sitting in a dark corner becoming frustrated with the confusion of Lunacy. It disappointed me at first because it isn't a horror game. To be honest, it didn't really matter. I was so desperate for FMV games at the time that I would have taken anything.
He's a strange duck, isn't he?
It starts off nicely enough with this fancy music and intro. I was impatient and left it alone so I could watch others play Final Fantasy for a day. I wanted to come back with a fresh perspective and less expectations. The next day, I decided to buy a few bags of honey mustard pretzels and devote the entire weekend to my newly purchased game. What took place that weekend was nothing short of madness. You could call it lunacy. So you start off stuck in jail with your friend Anthony. This sequence is basically the game's tutorial mode. The game mechanics are simple. You investigate an area or talk to the character nearest to you.
A traveler, eh? I'm Dr. Morse, and I don't have any use for travelers.
You receive an item.
What's this key?
Then you open the door. Simple. This is basically the whole game. You pick a direction and you head in that direction. You explore every direction and find new paths. It sounds simple, but you have to find your way in the right sequence of events. You really do feel lost in this city. This is super important. Nobody really holds your hand in this game. You have to use common sense and listen to the conversations to get by. So you meet the evil ruler of the town and slowly introduce yourself to the kind folks that inhabit this dreary place.
I'm the infamous Lord Gordon. Perhaps you've heard of me. This is my estate, my town.
The clockmaker.
What do you want?
The doctor.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
The flower store owner and her son.
Hi, Fred. My name is Rose. This here is little Hal.
Cool! A real traveler, Mom! I'm gonna be a traveler one day!
The bar owner.
Ah, the attractive traveler again.
Gray, the weirdo.
Why don't you come around to my house later? We'll talk. Okay?
Our friend Anthony.
Me? I'm a regular. I get blamed for everything by the lord of the town.
These other assholes.
You threw me in prison, punk!
Tough luck, stupid.
There is a legend going around in this town about a city of moons. This city is supposed to exist and provide answers to all of your questions.
There exists a place that's free of death and aging, an intriguing place where all dreams come true, the City of Moons.
I need to find the City of Moons.
One thing you'll notice right away is that as soon as you start talking to someone, they can't wait to get out of there. Most of this game consists of people closing doors on you.
Good luck.
Even though the town has a good amount of people in it, it feels pretty empty and cold. I guess this was to keep the feeling of isolation present. So you make your way around town trying to find a way out, but you end up getting caught up in the secret lives and feelings of everyone here.
Maybe somehow we can help one another.
You learn about people's sadness, desires, and hardships.
You know, something about seeing you makes me think of my daughter Louise.
You then have to use each person's skills to find the secret of the town.
By the way, that oil I gave you is hot stuff.
This game is heavy on the story but also huge on testing items everywhere. Most of the time you won't know what to do, but trial and error will help. People give you hints all the time. It really helps that you can save at any time, in case you mess something up later in the game when your choices matter.
Tasty time, please.
The thing I love the most is the music. It really sets the mood. So, after you've talked to everyone and solved all the puzzles in the misty town, you decide to throw some red earth inside a silver chalice and then, magically, you engulf the whole town in red mist. Suddenly, the whole game changes. You've found the City of Moons. I forgot to mention, this is one of those multi-disc games. I always loved this because it felt like you were getting more for your money. Anthony, the next part of this story is pretty intense. What do you say to getting out of this prison cell and going to your house?
I think it's all the same.
Wait, you had the key this whole time? Let's get out of here.
Welcome to my home. Much better than prison. Yes.
Anthony, why do you have so many insects on your walls?
Butterflies are God's creatures. How lovely to collect and preserve them.
Very interesting. Anyway, You have finally made it to the City of Moons.
This couldn't be the City of Moons, could it?
Suddenly the rules of the game have changed. Now, you have to use the right items at the right times with the right people. Or else they can die and you will get all kinds of different endings as a result. Every character is here.
What a joke. Get me out of here.
This is pretty crazy.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
They are all trapped in some strange room. If you don't solve their puzzle, each one can die. Lord Gordon is also here, and he's up to his old tricks. You make your way through teleporting rooms. Scary faces. Escape weird water cylinders. Killer carpets.
The floor's alive.
Solve light puzzles. Use axes on doors. Save every chance you get and on every file. You will make mistakes. Talk to ghosts. Save Rose in hell from falling to their doom by giving them magic feathers. Use those feathers yourself. This half of the game is very exciting and a bit more linear than the Misty Town. Gordon becomes increasingly angry with your presence here and tries to hunt you down. He kills Zabu. And even breaks his own arm off after falling for one of the traps. This guy is really sick. Eventually you will free all these butterflies and reveal the big secret of who you are and what you are doing here. In the end, you save the day by destroying Gordon.
Die, Gordon, die!
You find your long-lost wife and regain your memory. You solve the mystery of the town. The ending is very satisfying. You get a positive message from all of the people you saved from danger during the credit roll.
Are you a traveler, or does it even matter? As you can see, no one has stayed here for a long time.
It wraps itself up very nicely and you feel a level of accomplishment that most games don't have. If you're playing this for the first time, it's fun, it's confusing, it has a bunch of great story elements, music, character development and everything you could want from a full-motion adventure. Lunacy has become one of my favorite interactive experiences of all time. I love revisiting this game at least once a year, just to hear the funny voice acting. Do yourself a favor and try it out. Now, if you'll excuse me, Anthony, it has been real fun going on this adventure with you. I must return to my dimension. Enjoy your insects. I'll never forget you. We